So season 2 of The Following, Emma so far seems lost. It seems like she's without a purpose. Is that yes? You agree?
Absolutely. I mean, that's an understatement, if anything.
Okay.
Emma has lost everything at the end of season 1. She's lost the infrastructure of the cult. She's lost the protection of that. She's lost Jacob. Obviously, she's lost Paul. Most importantly, she's lost Joe Carroll, who had made himself her whole reason for living. He was her father, her teacher, her lover, her whole world. I mean, her God, really. Her whole world. And she's never had to be on her own. She never has. And so for the first time in her life, not only is she on her own, but she's alone, and she's America's Most Wanted, trying to evade the FBI.
Right.
And where we pick up with her, it's a really, really, really dark, vulnerable, broken place. There's a lot of grief. There's a lot of anger. But Emma's also a character that doesn't show weakness.
Right.
So that to me was the exhausting thing as an actor. Is she's so tightly wound,
Right.
and she has to keep control of herself. She can't afford to lose control like she could in season 1. But at the same time, the slightest thing could just send all the pieces flying.
And now you're saying she's most wanted, and obviously a lot that's really because of Ryan, because of how much he was able to pick up about these people. Is she looking for revenge? Is there a part of her that says, I need to get this guy because Joe was my everything and he brought him down?
She definitely has a very personal vendetta against Ryan Hardy, and she did before Joe died.
Sure.
I mean, in her own sort of worldview and moral
But she was going
structure.
with what Joe wanted at that point.
Right, absolutely. But as far as she's concerned, Ryan Hardy is the reason Jacob had to die. Ryan Hardy is the reason she's lost everything,
Right.
and disrupted this whole life she wanted to have with Joe. He's the reason she's bereft. And what's really interesting is, obviously there's the possibility that Joe
Right.
may not be dead, and then she has a whole other person to blame. And there's a whole
Right.
lot of feelings of anger and betrayal that
Right.
would come with that. But at the same time, she loves him as much as a human being can love.
Okay.
So it's both. It's a lot for this girl.
So, I mean, obviously there's some followers that are trying to see if Joe can come out of the woodwork. They believe he's alive. They're doing things that are trying to get his attention. Is that a place where Emma's going to go? Is she going to try, what, maybe he's out there, maybe I should try to get to him?
Emma, has lived in a certain amount of hope, of course, for the last year, and especially in the beginning, did not let go for a long time, kept waiting for him, kept hoping it wasn't true. But she has the ego,
Okay.
and she has this love for him that she assumes he loves her that much. So after a certain amount of time, if he's not contacting her, then he must be dead,
Okay.
as far as she's concerned. And she's very offended and insulted by anyone else who thinks otherwise, and is also trying to connect with him because nobody should be connecting
Well,
with
can
Emma.
she forgive if she finds out he's alive and he didn't contact her? Can she forgive that and still have the relationship she had with him in season 1?
That's what we're going to find out, possibly. I think that would be the ultimate test for loyalty, beyond what she was asked to do, whether it was killing her mother or killing Jacob. Anything that she did in season 1, that betrayal would be the ultimate test.
Okay.
And I don't know.
Okay.
We will see, but certainly if she did have a relationship with him again, it would be forever changed. She's not the same person she was in season 1. She's very different, and they are incapable of going back to that place.
Okay. And let's talk about the new followers. I mean, there are some new people that were not around in season 1 for the show, but also were not necessarily a part of the cult, it seems, that they're kind of late adopters. How does Emma feel about them? Does she interact with them?
Oh, Emma always felt like anybody, like the whole cult, anybody else who followed Joe was just an interloper and a threat. And just, again, kind of insulting, because nobody could ever possibly come close to how much she loves Joe.
Does that change, though, as she gets to know some people? Does she start to maybe grow maybe affection, but a respect?
There is a character with whom Emma finds a kinship, and she can relate in terms of who they are as people, who they are as that genuine center of callousness.
Okay.
And so there is respect. She's very much capable of respect.
Okay.
How emotional that is, we'll find out.
Sure. All right. Well, thank you so much. It's great to see you.